Hey, I have a secret for you. Did you know there's one secret that can build and scale any relationship? Yeah, even the relationship with your teens, if you're just aware of it. I will tell you what that is in a minute. Hi, I'm Marcia Amaro, and I'm here to empower you with the tools and strategies that you need in order to design a family and a life that is set for success. So I promised you a secret, and there is one secret that if you master it, if you work on it, if you improve it, can scale and build any relationship, make any relationship better, just by working on this one thing. Do you know what that is? It's your words. It's your words. Dr. Kevin Leman, a very well-known and well-respected psychologist and family expert, says that if you want to change your family, you should start by changing the words that you choose to use. And that's the key right there, that you choose to use. See, every single word that comes out of our mouths is a choice. And when we choose those words carefully, when we restrain from certain types of words, we can build our relationships exponentially just by giving a different sense of connection. Sometimes we use words without thinking. We unconsciously allow words to pop out of our mouths without gauging and analyzing the effect of those words. What I would love to do with you today is talk about 3 ways in which we use our words that can harm relationships, and that if we can switch how we use words in those instances, we can build and scale our relationships exponentially just by using words. The first way is labeling. Now, labeling is any time you assign a label or a definition to someone. There are labels that we consider positive, like telling a kid they're cute or they're smart or they're sweet or they're nice. And there are labels that we consider negative, like telling a kid that they are dumb or unworthy or lazy or anything like that. I want to challenge you to not use labels of any kind ever again. See, as a teacher, I have been trained to work with gifted kids, and I absolutely adore working with them because they are the most creative and the most challenging students that you can possibly have. But here's a problem that I encountered time and time again. Have you ever met a kid who is incredibly bright but does absolutely nothing and operates well below their talent and ability? I know I have met tons and tons of them. And the recurring theme here is, well, if I'm smart, I shouldn't have to work hard. See, we label these kids as smart and brilliant and amazing, thinking that we are doing them a favor, when in reality what that label does, it sets this set of expectations in their mind where they think, well, if I'm truly smart, then things must come naturally to me. So if I have to work hard at whatever it is, I must not be smart. So in order to not lose that sense of identity that comes from that label, they stop trying the second something gets hard, because if they have to try, then they're not smart. Are you seeing the connection? So yes, harmful and negative labels are like choking the life out of someone. Definitely try to steer clear from those. But even positive labels can harm, because they create a set of expectations in that person's brain that is suddenly linked to their identity, and that makes them act in certain ways that might be counterproductive. So how do we avoid labeling? When you praise your child, when you give your kid feedback about what they have done and how they have done it, focus on the behavior and not on the person. So instead of telling a kid, oh, you're so smart, say something like, I love the way you worked that problem out and you stuck with it. Or something like, I am amazed at how well you can process this information. If a kid does something that is less than ideal, do you think there might be a more effective way for you to do this. And focus on the actionable behavior, the things that they can repeat if they want, or that they can restrain from doing if they don't. The second way in which we tend to use our words destructively is by arguing. When we engage in an argument, we are giving our kids the idea and we are teaching them the lesson that the only way to be in a relationship, the only way to be in cooperation with someone else, cooperation, is by asserting our authority, is by imposing our thoughts and our agendas and the way we want to do things. So instead of engaging in an argument, and again, an argument is a choice, it's a choice of words. Instead of allowing your words to get violent and your actions to show that you're wanting to be the all-empowering, all-knowing person, calm down a second and ask yourself, what do I really want from this interaction? What is my end goal? Because if my end goal is to make sure that they do what I want, then I should question maybe a little bit my intentions and see if I can find something that is mutually serving and not self-serving, right? But even beyond that, if your final goal is to have a relationship of cooperation with your teen, engaging in the back and forth is not going to accomplish that. So how can you do that? How can you get into a conversation where your teen is resisting and you are insisting and there's that friction and you want to move beyond it because you want a positive relationship filled with cooperation? Well, you need to step back, and once you know what your end goal is, ask yourself, what is the best way to use my words to move in that direction? Maybe there are options you can give your teen, so they don't feel so pressured and like you're really trying to overtake and overwhelm them. Maybe you can negotiate certain things. And I'm not saying that parenting should be a negotiation all the time, but think about, okay, what are top 3 choices maybe that I can give my teen that I will still be happy with, but that will make them feel like I trust them to make a decision and help them move towards doing what I want them to do or what I need them to do. Maybe you can give them options of when to do it. Maybe you can ease up a little bit. If your kid continues to insist, maybe try to understand what they want from the conversation. Why is this important to you? Why do you really want to do this? Why do you really want to do this way? And engage in a conversation where there is a desire and an effort to fully understand each other and move away from the arguing. Words are powerful, and we have already talked about 2 ways in which words can make or break your relationships and help you build those relationships and take them to the next level. Before I go into the last way in which we can work with our words to improve our relationships, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications so that you don't miss out on any of the content. I come on at least twice a week with new tips, strategies, and ideas to help you design a family and a life that is set for success. And the final thing I want to say about words and how words can build and exponentially increase your relationships is to check how often your words are positive versus how often your words are negative. And think about those words that really cut to the heart, and we all know what those words are. If your kid hears you say, "I'm disappointed in you," chances are they will be deflated and they will remove themselves from you a little bit, because the last thing they want to do, believe it or not, is disappoint you. So what other words can you use that are more positive? If your kid is attempting to do something, or if your kid failed to do something that you agreed he or she was going to do, maybe saying something like, "I'm sad to see that you chose not to do this. What comes next? I'm sure you'll make a better choice next time." Or maybe moving from criticism into identifying the positive things first. There's this practice in business and in education where if you are going to give criticism to someone, you start by saying something positive, then you give the criticism, and then you end with positive anticipation or expectation, right? So you can try that instead of just being negative all the time. And one key thing is, make sure that before anything negative escapes your mouth, they have seen in your eyes, in your expression, and in your voice that you still love them and you're still glad to see them. If you have found value in this content, make sure that you share it with someone that you know can benefit from it. And in the comments below, I'd love to hear from you. What are some other ways in which you see words being used positively or negatively that can build or destroy your relationship? What are some of the things that you struggle with that we might find some help for? Thanks again for being here today. Make sure to subscribe, turn on the notifications, and I'll see you on the next video.